Hello everybody, this is Joe Workman, and today I'd like to introduce you to the SqueezeBox stack. Now this SqueezeBox stack is a very stylish accordion stack that lets you organize your content within sections, and when you click on the section title, the contents of that section is unveiled. Now let's jump in and see how easy SqueezeBox is to set up. When you add SqueezeBox to your page, it automatically adds two sections here for you. Now, as you might think, all you need to do is edit the section title here, and then add your content to the content area for that section. And that's all there is to it. Now let me go ahead and populate my SqueezeBox with some content. So now that I've populated my SqueezeBox with some content, let's go ahead and look at some of the settings. We'll notice that the number of spaces, that's pretty obvious. That adds additional sections to SqueezeBox for you to use. I've added 4 different sections here. Now by default, SqueezeBox will not have any sections open. However, with the Open on Load setting, you can open up a particular section on page load. Most likely you're either going to want them all closed or have section 1 opened. However, you can definitely open any section you like on page load. Now the only one open setting allows only one section to be open at any point in time. Now the other settings here in the setup are basically for controlling the animation, the speed, the animation effect, and things of that nature. But let's go ahead and preview our page to see what it looks like. So as we see here, section 1 opened automatically because we asked it to. And when I open section 2, section 1 will close. Now if we were to uncheck that setting, well, now notice when I go ahead and open section 2, both sections will remain open. Now let's look at some of the style options for SqueezeBox. By default, the titles are set to be a H3 header tag. However, you have the ability to change that to any of the header tags or plain text as you want. Now header tags are pretty important for search engine optimization, so you want to make sure you choose this accordingly. You also have the ability to customize the font of the title. Now by default, it will inherit the font that is used inside the theme. However, you can definitely choose from over 20 available commonly used web-supported fonts. Now there is a custom definition available where you can actually type in your own custom font. This is great if you have any of the font face stacks or Google font stacks, and you want to actually use the fonts from those stacks inside SqueezeBox. Obviously, next you can change the title size. This provides you if you want larger titles or smaller titles. Now, if you are building a responsive design website and check this responsive sizing box, you'll be able to then change the size of the section titles for a desktop, tablet, or mobile device. Next are our color options. The title is the default state, so the closed state of the section title. Title open is the color that the title will be when that particular section is hovered over or opened. And then of course you can also add a title shadow color to give your titles some pop. Lastly, you also have the ability to change the title background on hover. This provides an interesting effect. Let's turn it on and see how things go. So you'll see when I hover over my titles, the background of the particular section changes color. Now the next two settings allow you to customize the color of the lines that divide each section. Now it may not look like it, but there are actually 2 1-pixel lines there, and you can customize the color of each of those lines. Depending on the colors that you choose, you can really get some great effects. Now the last setting allows you to customize the arrow image that is used to highlight each section title. You can access additional arrows that ship with SqueezeBox directly from your Stacks Media library. Let's go ahead and make the arrows purple on this example. Let's preview our site. And as we notice, the color of the arrow is now purple. Now let's look at a more advanced setup for SqueezeBox. At the beginning of this screencast, I show a beautifully designed page that uses SqueezeBox. However, it does use some other stacks in order to help style the section titles as well as make the content responsive. Now, as you see, the configuration for this is quite complex, and I'm not going to go over every minute detail here. However, when you purchase SqueezeBox, this sample file will be on the disk image for you to download. Now, if we look at the content, we'll notice that I am using the responsive layout stacks. So the responsive 2-column stack will then concatenate these 2 columns into one for a mobile device. And then I have other things up here, letterbox stacks to help me style the headers. Let me go from the top down. I have a fluid image box stack, and this is used to contract the images that are within all of the images that are within SqueezeBox. So that they all have a max width of 128, and they'll all squeeze down to around 50 pixels on a mobile device. Next, I have a letterpress box stack, which sets the default color and theme for all text within the stack. So the default text areas, the lists, they all get the default text with a letterpress shadow. The second letterpress box stack uses a custom CSS selector, and this CSS selector is SB header, and that targets the SqueezeBox header. And this sets the default color to dark gray and sets the shadow style to inset, so we get that nice inset look and feel. The next letterpress box stack defines for SB header on hover and when it's active. So you can look at this custom CSS selector, and it selects the SqueezeBox header when it's hovered, or when it's the active, it will set the color to purple, and it will keep the inset letterpress box styling. And with these settings, we get a very beautifully laid out page. And to show you how this page looks on a mobile device, we'll see that when we look at it on an iPhone, the first section here, we'll see that my content has responded, and everything shows just as we had liked it to on a mobile device. I hope you really enjoy SqueezeBox. It is a great stack, very powerful, simple to use, and have a great day. Thank you very much.